Welcome everybody to another episode of the Sit Down Studio. I'm here with the Nikki Kastro, Kastro with the K, upcoming streamer. How you doing tonight?
Good. Thank you for having me.
No, I appreciate you for making time to, you know, I was gonna say come on the podcast. Well, I mean, technically you did come on it because I mean, even though it's virtually, you're still here, right?
Mhm.
Like you still
Yeah.
got set up and whatever, yeah. But I mean, shoot, I did mention that, you're an upcoming streamer.
hmm
So I met you off TikTok Live,
You did
and
me off TikTok Live.
is that the only place you be streaming on?
Yes. So I know you can like do it on Instagram and stuff, but I
Mhm.
really just do it on TikTok.
Right, right, right. But when did you start that up? Doing TikTok lives and everything like that.
So I'm very, very new to streaming. I barely started about a month ago. So it's Wednesday, so I'm in the middle of my fourth week. So it's been going good. I've been liking it a lot, just building like the community. It's definitely something very different than what I'm used to because I'm very much introverted. So it's getting me out of my comfort zone. So it's been really good so far.
Yeah. So when you say like getting you out of your comfort zone, do you mean like talking to people? Do you mean like just I guess having a camera in front of you? Like what do you mean by like I guess out of your comfort zone? Can you like elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I think both, honestly. Having a camera in my face is something that I'm definitely not used to. And also, as I mentioned, I'm very introverted, so I don't socialize a lot. It's very hard for me to hold a conversation with people, especially people that I don't know. It takes me a little bit of time to get warmed up. That's why I hang out with a lot of extroverts like my sister because it allows me to kind of just sit back, chill, and not have to really contribute too much to the conversation or like small talk. So it's definitely been getting me out of my comfort zone, having to talk to people, meet new people. But I think it's good because it's allowing me to kind of like gain some skills talking to new people, how to get conversation out of people. So it's been a good experience, but it's definitely something new.
So you said extrovert. So you said you're learning to become an extrovert or like
Mhm.
you already have been an extrovert?
No, I'm the complete opposite. I'm very introverted. So
Mhm.
really all I do is go to work and then come home, go to church as well, but I'm not like I don't have a lot of friends that I go out with. I struggle a lot with not being awkward when I first meet people.
Mhm.
So it's something I'm definitely working on and life is helping me do that, like becoming a little bit more extroverted, sociable.
Yeah.
Um and being able to like come up with answers to questions or a conversation thinking on my feet, that's also something that it's really helped me with.
Yeah, because like I mean, the reason why like I wanted you to like elaborate on that is because I feel like in the world we live in, I feel like, the term, introverts and extroverts. I feel like
Mhm.
introverts is a word that is, like I guess you could say commonly used.
It
That's why,
is.
when you said like extrovert, like I mean, I know what it means, right? And I feel like, most people know what it means, but you rarely
Right.
hear people say, "Oh, like I'm trying to become more of an extrovert or
Mhm.
whatnot." Like you rarely hear it heard in a sentence. So I feel like, when the less you hear of a word, you tend to kind of not like necessarily forget, but you hear it and you're just like, wait a minute. What
Exactly.
yeah,
Like that saying was like if you don't use it, you lose it. So like if you don't
exactly. Yeah.
see something consistently, if you don't hear something consistently, it kind of is like out of sight, out of mind, and you're like, wait, what is that again? But no, I feel you.
Yeah, but you be doing vlogs and stuff, no? Like on TikTok?
Yeah, that's basically all that I do on the TikTok live. It's basically like
Mhm.
very lifestyle type vlogging. So I've started doing lives during the daytime. So if I'm at the store, if I'm eating, so it's very day-to-day life type stuff, vlogging. And then at night is when I start getting into the battles. So I'll sit down at night. It's at 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time every single day. I'll chat with my chat, talk to them, get to know them, really focus on building that community, and then I'll also do battles.
I really feel like, TikTok. compared to, other like streaming platforms, and I'm not trying to, shit on them or anything. But I feel like, like TikTok, it kind of, you were talking about battles.
Mhm.
You're allowed to, I guess, you could meet so many new people off of like TikTok going live with other people and stuff because you could just, the first thing you can ask is, do you want to battle? It's simple
Absolutely.
as that. And I mean, some people, start chopping it up right away, off the jump, like
Mhm.
as soon as, they go live with somebody. Others, they just sit in silence. Others, they mute the other live
They'll put
holders.
you on mute.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like I feel like regardless of the situation, it allows you the opportunity to, I mean, shit, if y'all both sitting in silence, you might, after like a couple minutes, so what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food?
Where you
Like, yeah,
from?
exactly. Like,
Mhm.
it allows conversation. So I think, battles are pretty neat. I know everybody has their own different reasoning for doing
Right.
battles. Some, try to, make a living off of it. Some do it for fun. I mean,
Hmm.
some just try to see if they can get more than, 3 points because
Right. Exactly.
it'd be
Yeah.
a little bit sad. I'm a victim of that because I mean, shit,
Sometimes I am too. I
yeah,
feel like.
I mean, bro, like sometimes you'll start a battle. It don't matter how many people are in there. Nobody
Hmm.
wants to double tap. I'm just like shit.
I'm
Like
like,
it is
you're
what it is.
already in here. Like, I'm not, if you don't gift, that's totally fine. But like a
Right,
double tap, it's free, it's real quick. No, I feel you.
and it helps you, push your content out to the For You page. But I mean, who am I to judge or criticize? Sometimes people can feel a little lazy. They don't really want to
Right.
even touch their phone. They're just staring at it.
Right.
But,
No, yeah, I definitely feel that. Yeah. And yeah, as you like how you mentioned, like you meet a lot of people. I think that's something that I've definitely liked about going live as well. Like I've met so many people just doing off battles or even just being live that I wouldn't have met otherwise. Like
right.
we met on my live and there's other people that
Yeah.
I've come to really like appreciate and be like cool with, be friends with. So I think it's a really good resource to meet people.
Yeah, because I mean, shoot, for crying out loud, we didn't meet off of meet us battling each other. I was
Right.
looking for guests. I saw him off For You page. I was like, shoot, she seems
You're like, hey,
cool. I
look.
mean, like, this is a common question I get all the time. Like people ask me when I, approach them, why do you want me on your
Mhm.
podcast? I mean, shit. I try to keep shit as real as possible. And sometimes like I want to ask like, do you want me to, like cap about it or do you want me to be blunt with you? Most people want me to
Right.
be blunt. And I'll
Mhm.
just get straight to the point. I'll just be like, shit. I was looking for guests for my podcast. I'm just, trying to, get episodes out. I saw you on my For You page. Shit. I just wanted to ask. It's simple as that,
Right.
like it ain't deeper than rap. You feel me? So it's
Right.
like, I mean, but what's your goal, with streaming and stuff? Do you have like a goal? Do you just do this for fun or what do
Yeah,
you want to do?
so I definitely started doing it for fun at first. I was like, I'm at home anyways. All I do is go to work, come back home, sometimes church. So it was something that I saw other people do, and I was like, dang, like that looks fun. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me try it out. Actually, there was a creator who was live I used to watch, and he was the one who told me like, you would be so good in live, like you should start going live. So that's when I started trying to do it. And as soon as I started, I just started having fun with it. And then I really sat down and asked myself, like, okay, like, what is your goal with this? Is it just to continue doing it and have fun? Or do you actually want to make something out of this? And I kind of realized that it is something that I want to pursue and potentially even just do it full time. I do have like a regular 9 to 5, but if this is something that, comes to fruition that I'm successful at, it is something that I could see myself just doing full time.
Yeah, because I mean, shoot, dude, like I'm pretty sure you probably heard of that saying, "Oh, some things don't happen overnight." Da 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 da, da, right?
Mhm.
Like you got to work for shit.
Exactly.
But the thing is with TikTok, that shit could happen overnight, bro. Like all it
Exactly.
takes is
TikTok is the one place where something absolutely can happen
Mhm.
overnight.
So I mean, I have had a couple of friends, guys and girls, they just
Mhm.
hop on TikTok. Shit. First video, million views. Second video, 2 million.
Mhm.
I was just like, damn, bro, like.
Just
God,
shut up straight up.
this is why I ain't going viral, bro. Like you hogging all the views and shit.
You're hogging all the views, all the likes, like
Like
send them my
all the
way.
shares and shit. Nah, see, that's another thing. Have you ever had like I guess somebody go on your page and they just like share it to like their whole bloodline,
I
and
have.
then nobody likes this shit. So you just like see like
That was
let's
the point.
say you said what?
It's like, what was the point of that
Yeah,
then?
like it feel like somebody snitching on you. Like shit, did I do something wrong? It's like
Exactly.
you see a video, say for example, let's not get too crazy. It has 300 likes, right?
Hmm.
You go to the comments, 35, 40, 45 comments. You look
Okay.
at the shares. Holy shit, how the hell do I have 700 shares on this shit?
Dang.
Like I don't know, like people they love sharing stuff, I guess it's to
Yeah.
express themselves.
There's
But
a lot of like spectators I've found, whether
mm,
that's like content wise on live. There's a lot of people that just spectate and don't actually engage with the content, engage with the live.
yeah, because you never know, bro. Like sometimes I feel like people like that, they might be people that you actually know. Because I mean, have you ever heard of that saying? Sometimes well, I know somebody, that posts like, motivational
Mhm.
videos, little TikTok advice, stuff like that. And one of the things he says is sometimes, maybe it's best not to share your social media and stuff with your friends or, close ones because sometimes, the biggest snakes can be in your garden.
Yeah,
So your biggest fans could be somebody that you never met in your entire life. So
absolutely.
when I see stuff like that, I'm just like, man, somebody being weird again. I don't even,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. I feel like that's how it is, especially with social media. Like the people that know you in real life tend to not like really support you, and it be the strangers that you've never met that are like supporting you. And that's something that I've found with life. Like thankfully, like my sister, she's very supportive of it. But other people that I know, they'll come and watch the live, but they won't, like I said, they won't engage with it. They won't like
yeah,
it. They won't comment. And then it's like the most random strangers, people that come in and they'll come in regularly, they'll engage with the content regularly, they'll like it, they'll give. So it's really crazy how like sometimes your best supporters can be complete strangers.
yeah, it's bewildering.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess, that leads me into my next point. So, because, social media can get taken out of proportion. And, you as an upcoming streamer, do you post like, I guess, your vlogs like on your main feed? You don't just do it on live, you post it like, actual videos and stuff?
I have not. There
Mhm.
was a time like back, I want to say like back around like 2020 where I was really posting content like regularly and then I excuse me,
No,
and
you
then I
good.
stopped. Um But now that is something that I want to start doing again because I feel
Right.
like it will not only help like my account, but it'll help the lives as well. And now that I've been going live, my followers have been going up, so I feel like it'll allow more people to be able to get to know me and see who I am.
Yeah, it allows them to discover you.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was gonna lead into, with that, like what I was leading into, what subject I was leaning, damn, I'm struggling. But I guess what I was trying to like, dive into from,
Hmm.
that, I guess,
Segue.
yeah. But is that how important do you feel like it is to when you do vlogs and stuff, like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's cool to, like I guess get into detail about, what you have going on, what you're doing, what you're eating, or whatever, right? Whatever the case may
Right,
be, because there's so many different ways of vlog, right?
right.
How important do you feel it is to, I guess, essentially like monitor that, have I guess, a line
Like
where
a
you
sense of
draw, like,
privacy,
yeah, you said what?
like a sense of privacy and
Yeah,
boundaries.
because like, like I feel with social media, one of the things they say is social media, it's not real.
Right.
People might, post, let me put it this way. You see this phone right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put the phone right here. Is the phone really that big? No, it's just, like it's just right there. So like
Right.
that's like, example I'm trying to like say, like, social media ain't real. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to say is like, I mean, do you watch what you, I guess, put on your vlogs or your contents or say on streams because somebody might clip it up and take it out of proportion?
I absolutely do, specifically with my daughter.
Yeah.
So I don't let her get in the camera during my
Mm.
lives
Yeah.
because, as you mentioned, like somebody could clip that. The content that I post of her, and this is something that I'm also struggling with currently. Like, I'm really debating on taking off all the content that I have of her now that I'm starting to gain, more viewers and more traction. But specifically during live, I
Mm.
have no control over that if somebody clips it. Like, content
Yeah.
that I upload, I have control over that. The extent that I post her, but if it's live, I can't control anything that she does. I can't control who's seeing in it, and I can't
Yeah.
control if somebody clips it. So
Yeah.
specifically for her, that is something that I definitely monitor and I'm super mindful of. Aside from that, I am mindful of, things that I say or um things that I may do just because, especially for my daughter, like I want to present myself in a good way because the internet and your digital footprint are both forever. So I don't want her to eventually like get older and maybe be like, "Hey, mom, why did you do this?" So
Yeah.
it's specifically for her and about her, the boundaries that I set for social media and the vlogging.
Yeah. I was gonna say something really outlandish because you said you're like, oh, I don't want my daughter saying like, hey mom, why is this video on the internet? And
Right,
I know I like the way you think because I know, let's just put it this way. I know a couple of people, they do not keep in mind about what their future children,
right.
family members might say in the future. They just say, shit, I'm gonna just do this and
Mm-hmm.
think about the consequences later. So it's like,
Right.
it's really
Yeah.
refreshing to see that there's, people that I guess think about their actions, and think about the
Right.
possible consequences from them. And as you were saying, getting clipped up, you like to, I guess, have a sense of control of what goes out there and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Actually, it's kind of funny. Well, not funny. Not for me, not for her. It's not funny like as in like haha, it's just like, funny weird.
Right.
But I actually had this homegirl. She from Florida, right? And I'm not gonna name drop just because, just in case, this shit was to go viral or whatever. I
Yeah.
want to throw her name out there like that, right? Because it was
Right.
just a really weird ass situation. She was on TikTok live the other day and she went live with this dude that goes viral off of clipping shit.
Mhm.
And shit, if I get clipped up for saying this shit, I don't care. I think the shit is weird. But the dude was so like, I guess, desperate to try to get a clip out of her because that's what he does. That's what his content is. Just say
Right.
wild stuff. And when I say
Mhm.
wild, I mean wild. Like
Like
stuff that like
like outlandish stuff.
yeah, like bro does not care about his digital footprint. That in like the chat. When you act like that, you get a fan base of people that, encourage that behavior.
That type of
And then
thing.
yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, and just think of the most craziest, the worst shit. This sounds terrible. The like damn near like the worst things you could think of, bro, was probably saying it.
Mhm.
That's how bad it was. Anyways, so they did a battle. They were talking about, oh, whoever loses has to do a dare, right?
Mhm.
You want to know what the dare was, bro?
What?
He wanted her to stand up and do a 360.
Oh Lord.
And then she didn't want to do that because she knew what he was trying to do, right?
Right.
And
That
then
you're gonna clip that.
yeah, and then she left alive. His fan base, his viewers came
Mhm.
into her live, attacked her for that shit. Oh, there's a dare, you're a scammer, da 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 da, right? I'm just sitting there, because there's too many comments. I'm not gonna reply to every single one, like
Right.
realistically, and defend my hunger, right? Like no,
Right.
like at that point, just get off live, bro. She
Right.
restarted this shit.
Just end the
Yeah,
live at that point.
she restarted this shit, and everybody still came. I'm like, damn, bro.
Dang.
So she went back on live with him again. And then somehow the dare got worse. Bro
Mhm.
wanted her. I'm gonna mute this. So, like, I'm gonna mute this part what I'm about to say because
Yeah,
I don't take to I don't want it to get censored, so I gotta
right.
mute it. But bro said, and like, look, chat, like, yeah, y'all gonna see her reaction because y'all about to like know what I said. What he said was crazy. Oh, well, I gotta mute that too. I wasn't supposed to, whatever. But
It's a bunch
no,
of beep, beep,
yeah,
beep.
exactly. Nah, see, I'm like, bro, like somehow the dare got even worse, bro. Like, of course she wasn't gonna do that, right?
That's wild.
And she wasn't gonna do that, obviously, right? So then
Right.
they tried switching up the dare, and she ended up, doing it, right? Was to do like 5 jumping jacks, like on
Oh,
the
okay.
screen.
Hmm.
You know why they wanted her to do jumping
Right.
jacks.
Right.
But I mean, she did it in a way to, make sure,
Easy.
yeah.
Right.
And I ended up going to his live and I screen recorded this shit because I was like,
Mhm.
like I'm gonna tell her, you feel me? Like I'm looking out, I look out for my
Yeah, if that's your friend, especially.
right,
Absolutely.
right, bro. I went to his live, bro, talking about oh, these clips are whack. Can't even do nothing with them. Can't even post. I'm like, bro, like, are we dead ass? You feel me? Like,
That's
so,
crazy.
you know. When we get off stream, I'm gonna tell you who it is. That way, you could, if you want, avoid that person.
Yeah, to keep an eye
But,
out. Yeah.
but, no, that's so like I know you're getting into streaming and stuff, and we talking about clips.
Hmm.
I just wanted to, share that story with you because I mean, shit,
Yeah, thank
there's
you. And thank you for sharing who it is later on because I definitely want to stay away from those type of people. It sucks that, there's people on social media that are doing it just for the clips
right, bro.
and in to try to go like viral and things like that. And that I feel like that really takes away from the authenticity of somebody. And like you said, when you do you attack attract the type of people that that also like those type of things. Like any type of content you do, you're going to attract the type of people that like that content,
Yeah,
whether it's negative, whether it's positive. And it really sucks that there are people that like that type of stuff because a lot of the time those are the type of clips that go
yeah.
viral.
Thing is though, like I get, I get it. People be out of pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes it is funny, but like in this case, bro, the stuff that he puts out. I don't even think that shit's out of pocket. I think that shit just weird.
And especially to like go after somebody because they're uncomfortable doing
Yeah,
something, you know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't like have to
yeah.
feel like people are gonna come attack you or come for you
Mm,
because you set a boundary and you were uncomfortable
yeah.
with something.
And then she told him on live. She's the like I seen it the other day because she went live with him again.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Oh, I saw I saw you said you clipped it up and you said you wasn't gonna clip it, da 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 da." And bro said, "Oh, that wasn't me. That was my management. Man, get your ass on, bro. I know you lying." Like,
Come on.
no, but I guess I'm just sharing this because I know, like I said, you beginning your streamer journey.
Mhm.
Just
Right.
keep in mind, some people might get out of hand, and just I like
Mhm.
what you said. You try to have control of what you got going on and everything, and that's good
Right.
because um people only know what they can see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and then also too, you don't want to be guilty by association because I mean, shit.
Mhm.
The internet is forever, whether people want to admit it or not. So, people do some
Absolutely.
weird shit, like, some devious shit. That's why, like, actually, I'm not going to get into that topic. That's a touchy subject. But yeah, I was gonna, tread run on some thin water right there. But
No worry. We could talk about it
yeah,
later.
yeah,
But
the
no, I
government,
definitely
the
feel
government
you.
ain't gonna like this. Never mind. But shit, bro. So I also know you a litigation paralegal.
I am. That is my
Uh,
regular 5.
so what got you into that? Let's talk about that if you can talk about it.
Yeah, I can. As long as I don't get into anything specific about like cases or clients, it's totally fine. So I've been a litigation paralegal, I want to say 6 going into 7 years now. So I've been in the legal field for quite some time. I started out as a receptionist and then went to paralegal and then got promoted just up and up senior litigation paralegal. So I have a lot of experience in the legal field. Really the thing that got me into it is I just knew that I always wanted to be in the legal field. It sounded interesting, it sounded cool. I honestly wanted to be a lawyer, but once I started working with lawyers, I was like, never mind, like that's not going to be for me. So I get to support lawyers and do a lot of most of the things that lawyers do without a lot of like the headache or essentially the liability that lawyers
Right.
take on, because once you become a lawyer, you also take on a lot of liability. So I'm kind of doing the same thing without all of the liability and obviously like without the check that they get. But it's cool. I really like it. Like I get to see a lot of different things. Specifically the area that I support the attorneys in is civil litigation, criminal. Um, and the criminal side is actually really interesting. I've gotten to see a lot of different type of cases, and it's really cool to like review evidence. So it's a job that I do like, and I could see myself doing that for the rest of my life, even if it's just part-time, if I do end up pursuing the live full-time.
Yeah, so I mean, shoot. So this is like an area you've always like I guess wanted to like get into since you were like a little girl, pretty much.
Yeah, maybe not so much a little girl because I didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
But once I graduated high school and really started to think like, what is it that I want to do? Immediately after high school, I got into property management. So I was a leasing agent. And, it was cool, but I didn't really feel fulfilled. And like, this is something I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. So I literally sat down and had a conversation with my mom and was like, what do you think I should do? Like I like the legal field. Should I do real estate? Should I do this? And she's like, well, I think you would be good in the legal field. And it's very difficult to get your foot in the door in the legal field if you don't have a degree or if you don't have experience. So I literally applied to 32 law firms in the Denver metro area and only one called me back. So thankfully, they were the ones who offered me the position. And that's how I was able to get my foot in the door, and continue to move up from there. But it's very difficult to get in if you don't have that prior experience or a degree.
Yes, that sounds, like a lot, like it takes like a
Mhm.
lot of work and dedication, to get into that field and stuff.
Absolutely.
Is there any like I guess, well, I was gonna ask, if there's anybody that you saw in that field that inspired you to do that at all?
Not necessarily, but my mom is a professional, so she has her own business and she does like bookkeeping, taxes and all of those things. So growing up and seeing my mom just be like a professional woman is something that also inspired me to like do some time, have like a professional career as well. Eventually, if I do decide to take the next step and become a lawyer, I would want to start my own practice rather
Right.
than work for somebody else because that's the example that I've had from my mom. She's always like done her own thing, started her own firm of taxes and bookkeeping. So I really had that example of being like career driven and being a professional from my mom.
You want to be your own boss, then.
My own boss, I'm
Yes,
telling you,
ma'am.
whether that's like with the live or something else.
No, I love that shit, bro. Like, that's really respectable. I know you mentioned you
Thank
said
you.
uh Denver. Did you always like grow up in Denver? You born and raised in Denver or where like, where's your origin from?
So I was actually born in Mexico City, Mexico. So soy
Mhm.
mexicana. But I have been in Denver, Colorado since I want to say like about 4. We actually lived in California for a little bit and then came over here to Colorado. So I guess I've been here since I was 5. So I was technically raised in Denver, Colorado. So it's always been my home. And However, it's not somewhere where I see myself living for the rest of my life. So actually, I am been looking into either moving to like Arizona or Florida, places like that. And I really did some deep diving last year, and I kind of landed on Florida. Just, I weighed all the options, the cost of living, the market in the field that I'm in as a paralegal, the salary, all of that. So I did a lot of research and a lot of digging into the places that I saw myself living in, and Arizona ended up being like the best contender.
You said Arizona or Florida?
Arizona.
Oh, okay, Arizona.
Mhm.
Okay, because I thought you said Florida for a second. I was like,
No, that was one of the
yeah.
places that I looked into. So I actually looked into Georgia, Florida, California, Wisconsin, and Arizona. And out of all those places that I could like potentially see myself living in, the cost of living and all of that research that I did, Arizona came out on top for
Yeah.
all of them.
Hey man, shout out Arizona, bro. That's where my
Shout out
uncle grew up at.
AZ.
And like I feel like you'll love it over here. I mean, the weather, it can get a little tricky depending, what part of the map you're on, but I feel like, close to the border, that's probably like, the best weather-wise because, over there, like Phoenix, Tucson, it get hot as hell. But like over where I'm at, whoo, I love it over here.
Yeah.
It's low key, not too much, people. I don't know if you're like a big city girl or you're more of I guess, you like that peace and quiet, but where I'm at, if you like that peace and quiet, you would probably love it over here. It actually
Yeah,
was,
I'm definitely like more like a suburbs type person, like
yeah,
not super city, but not also super like secluded out there.
yeah,
So like a nice suburbs, like quiet, like cool place.
mhm,
I think that would be ideal. Also with the weather, I've lived here basically my whole life, and I heavily, heavily, heavily dislike the snow. So
mhm,
moving over to Arizona where it's, a lot hotter, I think that's another reason why it was a
yeah,
top contender.
yeah. And then also too, like I mean, there be monsoon seasons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Sometimes when it's really hot, I miss the rain. But when it's too much rain, I miss the heat. So like,
You're like, I do
yeah.
love rain though, so that's also
Mhm,
like a bonus too.
mhm. Did you ever like, I guess, growing up, did you ever try to drink the rain?
All the time.
You still do or
And
not
now
no
my
more?
daughter does. Low key, yeah. Is that, are we not supposed to do that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's water, right?
It, right? That's what I'm saying. So my
Yeah.
daughter does it, like I still do it. It's not like
Mhm.
a regular thing that I'm just out there drinking the rain, but here and there.
Damn, so every time it rain, you don't just be like just looking up and just trying to drink the rain.
Not every time, but I do love the
Mhm.
rain. My favorite weather, it's when it's like raining and it's a little bit, cloudy and it looks a little
Yeah.
darker. That's my favorite type of weather.
No, yeah. Um, I know we running short on time, but I wanted to ask too, would you ever be open to like, I guess, streaming like video games or anything like that? Because I know you said you were a streamer, so like, I mean, streamer it covers a lot of different things.
Yeah, it definitely does. I'm not the best at playing video games, but if it's something that, came up and that people liked, I definitely would
Mhm.
be open to doing that.
I mean, you don't got to be good at it, you just as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and then the more I play, the better I'll become too.
Yeah, I mean, like I got some things that, if you're open to it, if you're open to, new ideas, I could put you on for real. But before we wrap this up, do you have any, I guess, words of wisdom
No,
or
I
piece
just
of
want to
advice,
thank
motivation?
I just want to thank you for having me on. And for all the people who do see this, I appreciate you for watching and for, giving me a little piece of your day, some of your time. And follow me on all of my social medias. The at is Nikki Castro, NikkieKastro, and then watch my lives 9:30 p.m. MST every single day
Hey, like I said, Nikki Kastro with the K, right?
with the K.
Hey, pleasure having you, Nikki. We definitely gonna have to make a part two of this. I
Absolutely.
know it was a little short this time, but next time we gonna have a longer episode. It's gonna be more things to talk about. As time goes on, there's
Absolutely.
always there's always something to talk about, right?
Yeah, especially with like me continuing to do live, I'm sure I'll
Mm.
have some crazy stories for you next time.
Yeah. Hey, next time, because I know you just started this journey,
Mhm.
and like I didn't want to ask you it, like I wanted it to build up. But next time we on here, I'm gonna ask you about some story times because I know as time goes on, you're gonna have more story times to share. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure you, like I said, you already have some, but I mean, shit, the more the merrier. And like, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, thank
I'm,
you. I'll
I'm not,
definitely
yeah,
I'll definitely tell some story times on here
yeah,
next time you have me.
yeah. But this was like, like I just wanted to introduce you to the people that way they could see
Right.
your face, see who you is, and then shit, show you love. But
Thank you so much.
hey, with that being said. That's another episode of the Sit Down Studio. Make sure to hit the sub button and a huge, I forgot my words,
It's okay.
a huge shout out. And I genuinely appreciate you for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
We,
Thank you for having me.
of course, anytime. We out.